Hello, and welcome to the Love and Marriage Talk Show. I'm Annie Sally.
And I'm Warren Sally.
Well, this is our 4th season of the Love and Marriage Talk Show. It's a brand new season, year 4 of the Love and Marriage Talk Show. Yeah. I'm excited, babe.
Yes, I am as well.
I'm excited about what God is going to do in this season. I'm excited about our guests. We're going to have lots of guests. We're going to have lots of interaction. We're going to play lots of games. And we're going to answer your questions.
Yes.
Yes. This year, we want you to email us at annie.sally50@gmail.com. Email your questions to us, and we're going to answer your questions.
Amen.
Oftentimes, in marriage, we feel as though there is no one there to help us along the way.
Right.
Even when we're feeling bombarded and discouraged and frustrated because of what's going on in our marriage. So what we're going to do this season, we're going to do our best to answer your questions, and we want you to interact with us. We want you to comment, like, and share our shows, because we're going to do marriage together.
Now, it's not just for married couples.
That's right.
It's not just for married couples. If you're single and dating, I mean, we've been in every phase. We've been single, we've dating. Any questions that you have, as my wife said, please email us, and we'll try our best to answer them on our show. So if you're single, if you're divorced, whatever level in the spectrum you are, this show will be for you as well.
Amen. Amen. And dating with purpose. You know, when you said that, it made me thought about lots of folks date, but they don't have any goal for their dating. So I would like to say, if you're dating with purpose, you're dating someone and this feels like a good fit for you, okay? If this feels like a good fit and you really want to see what's really inside that person and see if you're compatible, this show is for you.
All right.
So tune in. And what we're going to do now, we're going to answer those questions.
Is two separate individuals with their own identities coming together. And in that coming together, they work every day at making it work, trying to become one.
What is marriage? Marriage to me is a covenant between the spouses plus
successful marriage.
God.
What makes a successful marriage is, to me, a marriage is never something that becomes 100% successful. It's something that you work at every day, because to me, what's the journey of making a marriage successful if it's already successful? It's something that we work at every day. But in that journey of making it successful, we go through the journey of learning each other, trusting each other.
What makes a successful marriage?
I believe what makes a successful marriage is knowing exactly what you're getting into from the beginning. Even during your dating years, understanding that we have goals or setting goals, and then working toward accomplishing those goals. Oftentimes people engage in marriage and their goals are totally different from each other, and they don't have anything in common to build upon. So I think what makes a successful marriage is understanding that during your dating process, that I want to connect with someone that's compatible. My visions, my goals are compatible. Then we unite as a married couple, and we're working on those already stated goals.
What has been the hardest season in your marriage?
I think the hardest season in our marriage was, I would say, the first part of our marriage. I think they always say that the first 5 years is the worst. always the toughest of any marriage, the first 5 years. And the first 5 years was, I would say, the toughest because we were learning each other. We were all both coming off past relationships. So I think that first 5 years was the most.
What has been the hardest season with your marriage?
What has been the hardest season in my marriage? I would say the beginning season, coming out of other relationships, having expectations from those relationships, or even having insecurities because of those relationships. So now that I'm in my new relationship, my new marriage, I impose unrealistic expectation on my now spouse because of the pain and the difficulty of my past relationship.
What has been the hardest season in your marriage?
I think the hardest season in our marriage was, I would say, the first part of our marriage. I think they always say that the first 5 years is the worst, or is the toughest of any marriage, the first 5 years. And the first 5 years was, I would say, the toughest because we were learning each other. We were all both coming off past relationships. So I think that first 5 years was.
What has been the best season in your marriage?
The best season in my marriage was my children, and taking care of them, and I think, and even up until now, where we are now with the wake up call, is one of the best seasons of my marriage.
What has been the best season in your marriage?
I would say the best season in my marriage has been, actually the best season of my marriage is this season. And the reason I say that is because after 30 years of marriage, we have come full circle into understanding each other, completing each other's sentences, knowing each other's ups and down personality. So we learn to embrace those versus in the early years, we tried to correct those, but we learn to embrace them.
You handle the unfavorable season in your marriage?
Much prayer and insight, but having God as the foundation to any marriage can help to enhance it, to strengthen it, and to help you to weather the storm whenever you go through. That would be my suggestion in handling some of the unfavorable seasons in any marriage.
How do you handle the unfavorable season in your marriage?
How do I handle the unfavorable season in my marriage? Well, through much prayer, much observation, because oftentimes we forget to do marriage, because we have to live our life. There's the kids, and there's our visions, our goals. We have our careers, our jobs, and all these things. So we forget sometimes that we have to nurture our marriage. So I feel that unfavorable times in my marriage, I go back to the foundation, what's important to me. And then I begin to rebuild on those things that are important. Welcome back. We have just answered some of the most asked questions. After being married 30 years, people often say, what keeps that glow in your eyes? When you look at each other, what keeps you focused? What keeps you focused in your marriage, and what keeps that excitement in your marriage? So what we wanted to do was address some of those questions, because marriage is a covenant. And being that it is a covenant, we have to go into the marriage understanding that God instituted this covenant
Right.
and that we're here to enforce it.
That's right.
And then we can't forget to do marriage.
Right.
When I say do marriage, keep marriage at the forefront of your relationship.
Right.
That this covenant is about marriage and staying together,
Right.
keeping it real,
That's right.
being open, being honest,
That's right.
and staying best
And I
friends.
can't wait for this season of Love and Marriage with our guests we have coming, and with us opening our marriage as a book and telling about the good and the bad,
Absolutely.
because they're good and bad in this.
Amen.
And we want to be transparent in everything that we say and we do. And we hope that you will be watching and that your marriage can be enhanced as well.
Amen. So we're going to have other guests on our show with us to help answer some of the hard questions. And we're going to collaborate as it relates to marriage. How do we handle, how do we fight fairly? You know, that's one of, and our love languages. What does that look like? We're going to do the not so newlywed game on our show. So we've got a lot coming for you on this season of the Love and Marriage. Thanks again for tuning in.
Yes.
And it's always a pleasure to do ministry with you.
Amen.
So God bless you. And remember, this
This
has been your wake up.